Thank you, guys. That was the perfect song. What did I do with my clicker? Okay, there it is. There it is. Thank you. Thank you, Scott, everybody. That was so good. That really kind of encapsulates my talk. When I said about the fact that I was going to explain why do I say this ain't your mama's church, that's because I had been raised in a Catholic church, and I call myself an expanded Catholic. And the reason, even as a child, I had a difficult time with the judgment and the confessions and the sins, and I really had a really hard time with it. So that's why I say that this ain't your mama's church. We don't care if you're an atheist, if you're Jewish, or you still go to Mass, or you go to temple, or that's good. That's good. What we're here is to teach you or to share with you how amazing you are. And don't let anybody tell you you're not. You have so much power. And what I want us to do is use it for the right things. So we all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us. Okay? So I told you at the election, I was a little upset about the turnout and stuff, and I realized that it triggered illness within me because of my anger and my frustration with what was going on. And so it's like you always have to choose between hate or love. That's what you need to choose. And your life changes the moment you make a new, congruent, and committed decision. So I look at my life, and I started out in banking. I worked for Bank of America. It was my first real job other than when I was in high school, and I worked in a snack bar. But my first job was at Bank of America, and I quit that job because I didn't like the way they treated my boss, who knew everything in the bank, and some young guy from college comes in and she has to train him, and he's making way more money. They're just little things like that. So I quit, and then I went to work for San Diego Trust and Savings. I was going to take the summer off, but I really do like to work. I was bored after a couple weeks. So I got another job and went to San Diego Trust and Savings. I was living in San Diego, obviously. And I really loved that job. But we got a new manager who was he became the actually president of our branch. He was a principal in a high school that knew nothing about banking, but his bigger brother or somebody up in headquarters put him in there. So anyway, one day he knew nothing. Anyway, I'm sitting there one day. I was sitting there one day typing. It was before the bank opened, and my assistant, I was in charge of the loan department, processing the loans and so forth. And I was in there, and she was telling me about this wedding she went to, and we're laughing and cackling, but there's nobody in the bank but the employees. He comes by on his way to the restaurant. He goes, "Hey, keep it down." And I go, "Yeah." And we kept talking. Then when he came back, he said, "Didn't I tell you to be quiet?" "Oh, you don't tell Laura that." Okay? And I just zipped it. And so what I'm saying about change is how things can happen in your life. So that was in the springtime that happened. But in Christmas time, my best friend from high school came to visit. That she had moved to Denver, and she became a court reporter. And she had her own agency in Colorado, and she was telling me how fabulous it was. And I said, that does sound really nice, but I'm really happy at my job. I love what I'm doing. So I'm just sharing. I go, "That's fine." Well, when that happened, I looked up the court reporting school in San Diego, and I said to myself, if I ever have my own business, I am going to treat every employee with respect and gratitude. Because even if you are the janitor, if you do a bad job, everybody looks bad. So you never know what things will trigger your decisions. And that was a great thing for me. So the choice is yours. Do you remember in 1999 when everybody was worried about 2000? Remember that? Everybody was worried that, all the computers, electricity was going to go off. Everybody was really worried. Well, I had just started my spiritual journey. I think I was already taking classes here, but I shared that I worked with Neil Donald Walsh, and he called me up to his house up in Oregon and asked me, he was having two people. I don't even know who these two people were, but they were talking about how you had to prepare for 2000. And I'm sitting there writing all this, and you better plant your gardens now because we're not going to have any vegetables and fruit, and you're going to have to share with your neighbors. And I listened to this garbage all day. And the next day, here I am with Neil Donald. I don't even know who these two, I guess they must have been spiritual. They didn't seem spiritual. And I said, I know I'm just the court reporter, but I said, but Neil, from things I've read from you and stuff, why are we going into fear? Why are we going into fear over this? And his eyes got big, and he goes, she's right. And they changed the whole thing. The book I don't even think came out. I don't know. It was awful. But anyway, but that was it. That was it. And so what are we hearing now? Gloom and doom. The world's coming to an end. We've got this, we've got that. And a positive mind finds opportunity in everything. A negative mind finds fault in everything. And you see a lot of that on Facebook and stuff. And let it friggin' go. Let's focus on the power that we have because we are creators. We need to send out good energy in the world, not fear and anger. Was I happy? No, I'm not happy. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to live where I live. Look at the things you have to be grateful for. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Jimi Hendrix, a brilliant man. That is it. And so we need more love. That's why that was on the picture from last year on our campaign, because that ripple effect has on the planet, on everybody. It's so important. We may have different religions, different languages, different colored skin, but we all belong to one human race. And so the more that we can be at peace and friendly with everybody, it does have its ripple effect, people. That's why you are here at the center. Every one of you were drawn here for a divine reason. Every one of you are living right now for this transition. If you listen to all the astrologers and psychics, we are going through a huge change in humanity, and we want to be a part of it. We are. We don't have a choice. We have to be. We are a part of it. So what are you bringing? If we could spread love as quickly as we spread hate and negativity, what an amazing world we would live in. Right? And so do that. Don't be complaining all the time. Look at the things that you do have. And start visualizing what you want. Have a dream, because the universe says yes. You are powerful to create what you want. So you are free to make whatever choice you want, but you are not free from the consequences of your choices, of the choice. All right? So remember, if you're stinking thinking, you're going to get stinking living. Right? That's what you're going to get. Look for all those beautiful things that you have in your life that are going on. Don't focus on the negative. Focus, and then the more good you see, the more will come into your life. So be the reason someone still believes in good people. Right? Just saying hi to somebody in the grocery store, or it's the little things we do. Just seeing the divine in each person. Do that and be that. So when somebody leaves your presence, they feel like they've been touched. They feel like, oh, I'm so grateful. Oh, what a nice person. You don't have to do a lot, but just Be kind to people. And hatred paralyzes life. Love releases it. Hatred darkens life. Love illuminates it. Martin Luther King Jr. You know, that's so true. Hatred paralyzes. When you're angry, don't you just, your whole body just, like yucky feeling, right? It just kind of closes down. But when you're happy and you're joyful, you feel so free and just full of life. So darkness cannot drive out darkness. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. So don't be posting negative crap on on Facebook or anywhere. Post inspiring things, you know, or whatever it is. Be that person that is spreading light wherever you go, not negativity. You don't want someone to go, oh, God, here she comes again, you know. But they might do that if you're full of love, too. You don't know. It depends on the person. Anyway, and look at this. See how I love that picture because it just moves out the hate. It just dissolves the hate. Believing that everything happens for a divine reason encourages trust in a higher power and faith that there is a greater good at work. And that was it. When I quit that job at San Diego Trust and Savings, they offered to put me into lending. They didn't want me to go. When we had our audit at the loan department, the only thing the state auditors could find wrong in my department was I had too many staples in my files. And I thought about it for a minute because I really did enjoy my job, but I thought, no, something told me I had to move on and listen to that. And that was the best decision I made. And I had an employee that worked with me for over 20 years. She stayed. She almost left us. She was a manager. She almost left to go to court. And we said, that's okay. You know, they've got good benefits. You should go. We started looking, and she came in. She said, you know what? I don't want to leave. It's so nice here. And so we did. I like to treat, and the way we work here, I love the way we work here because we work as a family, as a unit, and it's so wonderful. So love, is so much greater. And so you have a choice each and every single day. I choose to feel blessed. I choose to feel grateful. I choose to be excited. I choose to be thankful. I choose to be happy. I choose love. The choice is yours, what you choose. I hope you choose love too, and I know you will. Thank you.